just getting worse and worse. Okay, so I want to put it out there. I've seen a lot of comments when I address this offer of refugee status for white South Africans in the US, that there are a lot of people that say, just leave them. They're not wanted in South Africa, and now they're going to go for an opportunity there in the US, and just leave the people alone. The people must leave South Africa alone. Okay, so if you are going to go and take up this US refugee status because of your so-called persecution in South Africa, don't go there and badmouth South Africa and think there isn't going to be a response. So for instance, we have got Errol Langton. 9 people of the 49 is Errol Langton and his family. And he goes and speaks to the New York Times and thinks no one's going to check the information. Well, we know the New York Times didn't, but we're in South Africa. If you're going to badmouth the country, we're going to check. So an Afrikaner farming family trades South Africa for Alabama. So in the interview, Errol tells the New York Times that he has been threatened back home because he was a white guy and a farmer, and that his business had suffered financially because of the hatred directed at Afrikaners. He goes on to tell them that he grew spinach, mustard, Swiss chard and sweet potatoes, possibly in his backyard. Now he said he would most likely work an IT job in Birmingham. How odd, a farmer that's going to now just work a IT job in Birmingham. But eventually he hopes to purchase a plot of land where his family can farm with chickens and perhaps run a commercial operation. Mr. Langton, you should stick to your knitting, because you ran an IT company that was registered from 2008 in South Africa. You have never farmed. Why are you blatantly lying? In fact, here is the background of your company. Errol Langton joined as the first technician the company employed. Being very much family-orientated, Dextrous continued to include all members, I assume, of the Langton family. And the reason why I can't see is because the web page has been discontinued. So the next time one of the so-called South African refugees decide to actually speak to the media on that side and make false statements about their persecution as farmers when they've never been farmers, please note, South Africa will respond.
So after this little clip from Bianca, the South African TikToker, I had a little bit of my research to have a look at this story from New York Times. And the story was also published in another local paper in Alabama about him. And I searched the company, and I also found out the actually company belonged to the family since 1994. 30 years in the family. So the family, mom, dad, and him, and the brother, and everyone else, they are in the tech business. They're not a farmer, because I wanted to know whether he somehow inherited a farm from his parents. There was no records. I couldn't find any records from the deeds office, and all I found is that the company had been in the family, the Langton family, since 1994. And so he is not a farmer. So his refugee claim is that being prosecuted, he alleged being prosecuted because of his race, because he's white, and also for being a farmer. He's white, but he's not a farmer. And I thought, oh, maybe he could have a farm somewhere close by, but the company is actually in Boksburg, Gauteng province. It's not in Karoo, which could be possible, even Karoo, because it's a farming area. It's not in Limpopo, not even Free State, okay, where I was born and raised. It's not there. It's industrial hub, commercial industrial place. I don't know how you'd even farm in Benoni, because the blocks are generally very huge in South Africa anyway, but as Bianca said, in his backyard, I do have some in my backyard. Yeah. These people, just food sake.